please do tune in and post your queries. We will be taking them live on the channel. So let me begin by asking this particular query that we've gotten via an email, and this one is coming in from Sai Surya. He's saying that he's purchased a Vodafone Idea shares at the price of 8 rupees per share. He wants to know what should he do. Should he hold onto this particular counter or should he sell? What's your take on this one, Vikas? Vodafone Idea, does it make sense to actually look at this particular counter over the shorter term? You think the longer term prospect for Vodafone Idea will be better, and therefore Sai Surya should go ahead and hold on to this counter?
Yes, Cheryl, my view would be pretty much similar to your views. Actually, the telecom sector is seeing some light of the day. The way the government has been supporting the sector, the relief which they've given as far as the collection of their dues was concerned, and the ARPU increase in ARPU which we've seen in the recent results, I think these three companies should be there, and Idea being the weakest of them all, and that is the reason why it is available at these kind of valuations and price. But if the investor has a long-term point of view, I think he could continue to hold on to the stock. He's sitting on some profits, but I see in the next, say, 12 to 18 months, we could see levels of around 20 rupees on this stock. So I would maintain a hold on this stock.
Okay, we've got a question coming in from Jairaj from Kerala.
Alex, go ahead. You were asking a query. Okay, let me go ahead then. This particular query is coming in from Dinesh, and he's asking about CAMS. He's saying that he's bought this particular counter at the price of 2,700 rupees per share. He wants to know on the charts, how does this particular counter look like? Ashish, what's your take on CAMS? What should Dinesh do with his particular holding right now?
Has formed a double bottom around that 2550 level and showed a very decent bounce back from there. I think the overall structure looks good. The retracement is somewhere around 61.8 to 50%, and from here I think an up move can start. So hold on, it's a good stock. Overall trend remains bullish. Short-term consolidation is possible, but I think the stock is headed towards 3,400. So hold on with a stop loss of around 2650 and 3,400 as the target.
Okay, we've got a question coming in from Jairaj from Kerala. He says that he's bought SBI Cards at levels of 970. He's wondering whether to hold on for the next couple of years, Vikas, or should he exit? Should he add more or exit is a question.
As far as SBI Cards is concerned, it's definitely a good stock, but most of these card companies are not doing that well because of the competition which they're facing from these digital payment companies. So, in case he does not have, does not have many other stocks in his portfolio, and he's invested only in SBI Card, then I would request him to switch to some other companies. Even the parent SBI would be a good stock to buy into at the current levels. Its results are going to be reported on Saturday, and I'm pretty bullish on the results of SBI, looking at the kind of results which other banks have reported, and at these levels I think SBI would turn out to be a better investment even if he's a long-term investor.
Right, this one is from Ujwal. He's saying he wants to know the fundamental view on ISGEC Heavy Engineering, that's ISGC Heavy Engineering. He's already holding this particular counter at the rate of 790 rupees per share. What should he do, Vikas, with this particular counter? Should he hold on to it? Looks good.
Yeah, again, a good quality company, and with the kind of focus which the government has laid on capex and infrastructure, I think these kind of companies would do well in the times to come. It's a good quality company, fundamentals look good, so I would recommend a hold on this stock.
Okay, Vikas, coming back to you, Shipping Corporation of India. We've got Chandra who's asking about this, holding 3,000 shares, but he's not told us what level he's holding at. He's holding with the hope of getting a pop with some divestment news. Should he do so?
Yeah, as far as the government's intentions are concerned, they've certainly spelled out their intentions of divesting. Their divestment target is 65,000 crores for the next year. And I think LIC they've not considered because LIC could be done this year, keeping fingers crossed. And as far as SCI's fundamentals are concerned, the results for this quarter were simply very good. Excellent set of numbers the company reported. And after that, we've seen some kind of a rally in the stock. But if the government is able to divest this, I think that should be done at a premium to the current market price, and that would lead to a substantial jump in the stock. So I would maintain a hold on SCI, and I think his logic of holding on to it because of the divestment prospect also looks good.
This one is from Ravi Joshi, and he wants a technical analysis on Aurobindo Pharma. He's saying that he's purchased this particular counter at the price of 1,000 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he should sell, hold, or switch to any other stock. Ashish, 1,000 rupees is a buy price for Ravi Joshi for Aurobindo Pharma. That particular counter is now hovering around 660 rupees per share mark. What should he do? Do you think he should book losses or continue to hold on to this particular counter?
See, Cheryl, overall, the pharma sector had been under pressure, and especially Aurobindo Pharma. We can clearly see it corrected nearly around 30 to 35% from its cost price. As the pharma cycle turns back on the upside, it's some time that the cycle has been on the down, so it can turn up on the upside. Aurobindo Pharma should then do well. But he has to extend his time horizon to at least a year or 2 years before he can think of getting back his cost price. But if he can hold on, I think the stock can even cross back above that 1,000 level. So it's just a matter of time. Hold on over here, and possibly he can do some kind of an averaging at this level as long as 550 on the downside remains protected.
Okay, Glenmark Pharma is the name of the counter, Ashish, and coming to you on this one, we've got Venkatesh from Hyderabad who's asking about this. He's holding at levels of 545. Can he average his acquisition price at this level?
Pharma is moving between two bands. One is somewhere around 545 to 550, the upper end of the band, and the lower end of the price range is around 460. So that's where it has been moving. It is nearly, I think, somewhere around 4 to 5 months since then. It has not broken out either on the upside or the downside. So I would suggest there is no point averaging now over here because it's not too far away from its cost price. Just in case the stock shows a dip towards that 470, 460 mark, average it out there, and then possibly we can expect it to break out on the upside. The stock looks good. There is consolidation going on. Once the breakout happens, I think it is going to show a very strong impulsive rise towards that 650 or 700 mark. So average on dips towards 470 is what I would suggest.
All right, this one is from Shushrit Patnayak. He's saying that he has 200 stocks of M&M Finance that he's purchased at 154 rupees per share. He wants to know how is the long-term prospect for this one. He wants to know whether he should go ahead and buy some more. What's your take on M&M Financials, Vikas? They've just come out with their earnings yesterday. We can see the stock react to that. But over the longer term, do you think that Shushrit should stay put with this holding?
Actually, the results were not that bad. They were looking good, and since the stock had run up prior to the results, it's a case of again buy on rumor and sell on news. But if one has a long-term point of view, I think with the kind of pedigree which it has, the kind of management which it has, and looking at the way the sector has been doing, I think it could be a good stock to hold on to from a long-term point of view at the current valuations. So I would maintain a hold at the current levels.
Okay, interesting. Vikas, Coal India is a stock that we spoke about in 2021 when it suddenly had that pop and a lot of people were surprised at how it moved, right? The question is, on the fundamentals, would you consider buying? Tushar is asking whether it can be bought at the current levels and held for the long term, even as a dividend play?
No, I'm certainly not interested in Coal India because the first reason is even if it goes up, the government does not allow it to because they would come out with some divestment program as far as Coal India is concerned. These stocks actually in this kind of market, there's no point in looking at dividends or investing from a dividend point of view when you have lots of sectors, lots of companies which are seeing robust growth and which could be a great compounding story. So I would not look at Coal India, even though it trades at a very reasonable or very cheap valuation from a long-term point of view. Trading is always okay. There could be some bouts of buying and selling, and one could trade if he's on the right place, then he could make money out of it. But then from a long-term point of view, I think there are a lot of other opportunities in the market and one should look at them.
This one also is for you, Vikas. It's on Happiest Minds. Soumitra is saying he wants a fundamental and technical view, but I will take your view on this one. He wants to know whether he can enter Happiest Minds at current levels. He wants to know if the company is worth it. Do you think Happiest Minds is worth it, Vikas? Do you think it makes sense for Soumitra to actually go ahead and enter at these levels?
Yeah, certainly it's one of the good stocks from the mid-cap IT space, although the valuations do not look cheap, but I think it should be kept on radar, and on any substantial correction, it could be bought into from a long-term point of view. It's a solid management, and the company and the stock has given pretty good returns ever since its listing also. I remain bullish on the stock and would look for opportunities on declines to be buying into the stock.
All right, Cholamandalam Investment and Finance. It's had quite a run in the new year, Ashish, and we've got a question coming in from Sudha. Would you invest or would you buy at this current level for a period of about a year?
Yes, if you look at the overall stock performance, it has done exceptionally well compared to other NBFC stocks. If you look at those, and then especially if you compare it with iBull or Housing Finance or those kind of companies. So if you look at the overall sector, interest sensitive sector and the NBFC space, I think Cholamandalam Investment and Finance has done much better. There is a potential the stock can even go towards the level of 800 on the upside. It's just about to break that 52-week high, which is near around 670. So I think he can hold on to the stock. The stop loss for the stock has to be maintained strictly at around 580 levels on the downside. In case 580 is taken out, some consolidation is expected, but I am bullish on the stock.
All right, this one also is for you, Ashish. This one is for Vimla George. She has PI Industries, which she's purchased at 2,800 rupees per share. How much profit can I expect in the next 1 year time frame is what she's asking. Tricky question. Will you be able to answer this one, Ashish?
Yes, it's a tricky question given the fact that the stock has broken its support around 2,800 levels where the investment price is, and it is quoting somewhere around 2,500 now. But nevertheless, the long-term trend remains intact for PI Industries. We have seen that the stock has given returns to its investors, and also try and keep one thing in mind. From March, the stock was somewhere around 1,100. It has increased to around 3,000. That's nearly 3 times increase in just 1.5 years. So you need to be careful entering into stocks after such a huge run-up. But nevertheless, the long-term trend is intact. Short-term volatility might exist. So over a period of years' time, I think the stock can again touch back that level of 3,600. So hold on to this stock over here. Stop loss has to be maintained at around 2,100 on downside.
Okay, Puneet says that he's asking a question today because he's been hospitalized. I hope that your health is better, Puneet. And he intends to trade in the market, Vikas, to recover some of his hospital bill. I do not think that that's a great idea, but all the same, I'll ask his question. He's asking about MapmyIndia, which he bought at levels of 1,615, and he's not looking at a very long-term time frame. Can he hold on?
Yeah, Alex, this is also one company from the new age businesses which I like. The company's business model looks good, and the stock has done well over the last 2-3 days ever since the government focused on using drone technology for farming and agriculture, and this company could be a beneficiary of that too, and that's why we're seeing the kind of run-up which we've seen in the stock over the last 2 days. But it has corrected from its recent highs, and now it's again gone up, but it's yet to reach its recent highs. But I'm bullish on the stock from a long-term point of view, so I would maintain a hold on the stock even in the current levels after the recent run-up.
All right, this next query is coming in from Sagar, and Sagar, along with his queries below, has actually mentioned that he's thinking of actually changing his YouTube name to Warren Buffett. And if people have been watching our show regularly, Sagar is one of our regular viewers who without fail, definitely writes to us every day asking about his query. And if you've seen his investing method, he's actually the demonstration of what power of compounding actually means. So let me take this one from Sagar, and he's saying that he wants a technical view on Kennametal India. He's bought around 2,500 shares, around 1,200 rupees per share levels. So he wants to know whether he should hold or exit. So what's your take on this one, Ashish? What should Sagar do with Kennametal India? And this is if you actually track the stock closely.
Not really, because I have not come across the stock earlier. But I think overall, looking at the chart right now, he can hold on to the stock. Now, looking at the overall metal performance, we have seen a dip over past 3 months in the overall metal sector. And from there, we can clearly see that right now, over past 2 days, there has been some kind of a recovery happening across the metal space. So for now, hold on to the stock, maintain a stop loss of 5% on the downside, and get out just in case that gets triggered, because that's a short-term call that I'm giving on the stock. I'm not sure about the long-term perspective.
All right, gentlemen, it's time to hit the rapid fire segment. Just a quick reminder to keep your answers as short as possible. The first one is from Nelson, and he's asking about IGL, Indraprastha the gas. He's holding on at levels of 452. Can it be averaged at the current price, Ashish?
Yes, you can average it out at 400 levels right now. Maintain a stop at 360. Expect a target somewhere around 500 eventually for the period of 6 to 8 months.
All right, this one is from Dasaraji, and he's purchased Zuari Agro 100 shares at the price of 129 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he should hold or exit. What's your take, Vikas?
And it's a good quality company, can be held on to, and I am bullish on the sector as a whole.
This next question is coming in from Chalakudi in Kerala from Rosemary. Vikas, the question is, would you buy Info Edge at the current level?
Again, a dicey question. The stock has also run up also, and at the current levels, I think the best thing would be to hold on to the stock and would look for opportunities that declines to be buying the stock.
Okay, this one is from Mohammed Samir, and he's talking about Aarti Drugs. He's purchased 100 shares at the price of 511 rupees per share. What should he do, hold or sell? What's your take, Ashish?
The support is somewhere around 480 levels. As long as that is intact, I think it can move back towards that 600 mark over short term.
Okay, Vikas, another one from Kerala. This one is on Dr. Reddy's Laboratories. Abhijit wants to know, would you suggest an entry for the long term?
Yeah, if one has a long-term point of view, I think this is one stock which can be bought into. The leader among the pharma pack and looks very good from a long term.
Okay, Sandhya has 400 shares of Tata Consumer Products purchased at 110 rupees per share in 2017. She wants to know whether she should book profits or hold. Should she accumulate the shares further? What's your take, Vikas? Tata Consumers buy price 110 rupees per share.
First, we should congratulate the investor for having bought this stock and holding on to the stock until now. The company reported its earnings yesterday. The earnings were very good. They were impressive set of numbers, and I would maintain a hold on this stock. And I think on any declines, it could be added on.
All right, gentlemen, on that note, we're out of time on this edition of the query segment. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for taking the time. Viewers, if we missed out, apologies. We took quite a few. Hopefully you benefited from some of those queries yourself. Do stay tuned. Lots more coming up after this short break.
Here's an update.
We have great brands. No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan. This is